Watch for the red live.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is Chris and Crystal. Crystal is taking care of some kids' arts and crafts with her son Anthony and her sister Roxanne. So we miss her today, but we wish her so much fun and enjoying time with her lovely little boy. But today we have a special guest host. As you all know, my name is Chris, and I'm a 14-year stage 4 pancreatic cancer survivors, and welcome to our newest episode of the Maine Cancer Crusader Chicks. As you can see, I'm lone going it today, but I have a very special guest, two, as you can see. This is Zoe, and we have Natalee Kohls.
Hi, Zoe.
And Natalee, welcome. And what most of you don't know is she is usually behind the scenes, and so we're excited to actually have her in front of the video or the camera today. So Nat, welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be here, and I'm glad Zoe could participate with us too.
Zoe's a big fan of being online. She likes to know let people know she's here. So she's gonna be our triple co-host or whatever. So well, I'm excited to be here, and summer is a busy time, and especially past COVID. So wishing Crystal a great time. But today we have Natalee Kohls on, and she's a certified ThetaHealer and Reiki master teacher, as well as a psychic medium. So Natalee is on. She's also my sister. So she's been there through my journey and has been a spiritual guru, I guess, a spiritual confidant, one of mine, throughout my process of finding my spiritual side. So Nat, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, it's something that it took a while for me to get where I'm at, because we're always like learning and evolving and all of that. So, my journey has intertwined with yours, obviously, because we're sisters. But, more importantly, is that when we intertwine with people, or there are family members, or we just meet somebody by chance, it's really not by chance. And so, I'm on this journey with you and other people I meet too, but we're here to like help each other grow and learn. And so I'm very glad that I could be part of your journey too.
I'm thankful that you're my sister and that you've been a very positive part of my journey, and I greatly appreciate that. And I feel that spiritually that I'm evolving thanks to you. And I'm a little hard-headed, so it took me a little while, but I truthfully think that my journey through my active battle with cancer was like going to war, and I had to find a way. Somehow my mind went to this place of where I was going to be positive and beat it. And so the last, I would say 2 years, I've been on that journey of what was my mindset like when I was battling cancer. That's what I wanted to get back to. And you gracefully led me to Theta Healing, which I'm a Theta Healing practitioner as well. You're a little more further along in your journey, but between that and guided meditation, and it all helped to work on my mindset, practicing gratitude. And I know with you having a heart attack almost a year ago, this must have played a part in your healing as well.
Oh, well, it for sure did. And I will tell you that it was literally almost exactly a year ago that I was having, pain that, well, I won't say pain. I'm just going to say that, how sometimes you feel like you get muscle strain in your back or whatever. And you don't really think much about it. Well, neither did I. I thought, okay, well, I'll just set up an appointment to go to the chiropractor and get some adjustments. And so, I was headed there. And for me, I never really felt any pain from it at all. And so I, I got to the ER and, they gave me 4 of those chewable baby aspirin, the low dose aspirin. And they're like, yep, she's having a heart attack right now. And it's like, wait a minute. I don't feel like I'm having a heart attack. I mean, I didn't feel great, but so anyway, it's like sometimes things in our life come up to make us, and sometimes this include illnesses too. Like as we're going through life and we have things that come up that they could be emotional, they could be other kinds of trauma or whatever. We hold that trauma in our bodies. And the longer that trauma or that stress or something is there, it manifests into something physical with us. It could literally be a heart attack. It could be cancer. It could be all kinds of different things like that. It could be as simple as, somebody pulling a leg muscle. And we all know that, well, I won't say that, but we know that our physical and mental and spiritual are all connected. So, like you were talking about theta healing. So theta healing is, for people that might not be familiar with it, it's literally that stage, the theta brainwave. So it's the stage right before you fall asleep and right before you wake up. And it's where the most healing can take place in your body. So with theta healing, you get to that stage through like a meditation, so that you can work on yourself.
It's more like a guided meditation.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, exactly. And so by working and basically changing beliefs,
changing limiting beliefs that are holding us back.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. And by letting those go, letting go of resentment, letting go of those beliefs, things like that, that actually helps us on our healing journey, no matter what it is. So,
well,
I just go through life.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So I just have decided going through life is right now, it's like looking at it as, okay, I know I have plenty, and we all have plenty of baggage, things that hold us down, and so the more that I can get rid of some of that, like if I have a fear of something or a fear of doing something, first thing I do now is like ask myself, where is this coming from? Is this realistic fear, or is this something that is just sort of made up in my head for some reason? So
exactly. So as a kid, I had a fear of heights, but did I ever fall off of anything? No. Do I still have a fear of heights? Not as intense, but where did that come from? Why was I scared of heights?
Right.
Just don't have.
And here's the thing too, is that sometimes we learn, and so theta healing is not about religion. It's not religion at all. It literally is like quantum physics. It's science, and it's also brings about like confidence, faith, trust. But it is with a higher power. So whatever that is to you, or maybe you don't have a higher power, that's okay. But theta healing works on every kind of level to really help heal you. And it's that thing that I always see posted by people, is something about be careful of like what you put out in the world, because it's like you're like bleeding all over people who had nothing to do with your situation, kind of thing, So
right. So what I've found with theta healing, I know that you had started your journey before you had a heart attack. Can you tell how theta healing, Reiki, energy work, mindset? Can you talk about like what with what how did that help in your healing, or help in your healing journey for from your heart attack? And folks, this was a widow maker. This was a 99% blockage. So I know we usually talk about cancer, but with Crystal being out, this was a good opportunity. Heart disease is a big thing in our country, and heart attacks, strokes, people need to understand women present a lot differently than men, and everybody presents differently. So Nat had a 99% blockage, and I can't remember the technical name of the vein or artery, but it's referred to as the widowmaker. And so Nat's a true miracle. So we like to have miracles on the show, and so I thought it was important for Nat to talk about her journey with something that, I mean, technically, let's just call it what it was. I mean, it's a miracle that you got to where you needed to be and got the care you needed to have.
It is, because I'm going to tell you. So part of the whole thing about, I'm going to tell you some of the parts that made it very remarkable to me, because I am a psychic medium. So I, listen and talk to Creator all the time. And
which is what you call your higher power. I just wanted to add that in.
Exactly. Yep. So it can be the universe, it can be God. It's all the same, but that's what I call Creator.
Right. I just wanted to let people know that weren't familiar.
Oh yeah, no, totally. So I was on the way to my chiropractor that day, and we had to literally go past this big hospital. And so I kept feeling kind of weird. That's the only way I can describe it. And so as I was getting closer, my husband was driving, and I said to him, I said, I think I need to go to the hospital instead of the chiropractor. And all this time I was having a conversation and asking, do I need to go to the hospital, or should I, go to my appointment at the chiropractor? And I got this message, this big YES with exclamation points, that I needed to go to the hospital. So that's exactly where I went. And so having the conversation, when I was in there and I was in the ER, and I like to think of my cardiologist I had there as my superhero. He's just Dr. Cho at Lutheran Hospital in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Just
I was going to say,
give him a little plug.
He saved your life. I think anytime we have somebody that saves our life, it's we look at them in a whole different light.
Right. Yep. So they started hooking me up, and before they could even hook me up, they were like ripping them off, and they're like, she's having a heart attack, like right now. So they rushed me to the cath lab, and they did a heart cath right there. And for me, I was awake during it. So they give you medications, things like that. But it was, this whole time I was kind of thought it was cool, because I could see my heart beating in a monitor, and I was talking, and they're like, you might not want to talk, Natalee, while we've got these little wires going up into your heart. I was like, oh, okay. So nope, no pain, no nothing. But I did end up going out of it, like completely going out. But before I did, I was having a conversation with the creator, you know, God, the universe, and
Your higher power, yes.
So while I was doing that, I was like, is it my time to go? And I got no. But that connection that I felt at that time was amazing. Still no pain, no pain at all during the whole process. And so fast forward a month later, we had been planning on moving to Maine. And so a month after my heart attack, we were moving to Maine because I was not going to move back to Maine. And
Right.
so once we got here and everything, I saw the cardiologist, and this was probably December of last year. And when I went in there, they told me that if I didn't, work on strengthening my heart, things like that, that I might have to pacemaker. And I was, I guess if I had to get one, I had to get one. But I was pretty determined that I didn't want to get one if I didn't need to. And so my heart, by the way, when I had the heart attack, it was pumping. So your heart only pumps at 65-70% normally. Your heart doesn't pump 100%, which I never knew.
Me neither.
But after my heart attack, my heart was pumping at 30%. And so when I had my appointment in December up here with the cardiologist, they did a scan of my heart and an EKG and everything. And my heart within, let's see, how many months is that? July, August, September, October, November. So about 5 or 6 months, my heart went from pumping at 30% to 70%. To me, that is a miracle.
That's tremendous. I think all things were a miracle, truthfully, in what you went through.
And don't you think, though, we talk about, go ahead, Chris, sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead and finish your thought, please.
Well, I was just going to say that, we talk about like you being a miracle too, stage 4 pancreatic cancer and being a survivor 14 years later. But I was just thinking, is like, how many other people out there have all these kind of little miracles that are big, actually, miracles that happen in their lives, and we never hear about those all the time,
Exactly. So what I think is, we think that miracles, both of ours were big miracles, but most people are like, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. And it's like, dude, I'm a miracle. I own that now. And it's taken me 13 years to get to it, but I own that I'm a miracle. But I also know that when I was going through it, I knew that each month I made it past my 6 months, I was a walking miracle. So I was looking for that mindset, and I finally found it again. And so I guess if you're looking at, let's say, Crystal is a survivor of stage 4 colon cancer. Jessica Sargent is a survivor of something that was supposed to take her as well. She's a miracle. Just waking up every day is a miracle. But if you look at it, what do we all have? Mindset. We want to make it. There's reasons why we want to make it, and we hold on to what we need to do. I'm not saying that anything that any of us have been through is easy, but we do it because, one, we have faith and we know we're supposed to be here for something. We might not know what it is, whether it is to be a Grammy like Jess for her 2 new grandbabies, or Crystal to watch her baby boy Anthony grow up, or for me, just to and impact others, and still live out my life, and learn that nice balance of both. And for you, being energy worker as well, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do for this world and community and people, that, you know, your mindset was you weren't going to die, but you just didn't know what was going on. And I think our mindsets click in, that I call it warrior mindset. I don't know, but you just go into survival mode, whatever that takes. And, you know, I know for me, it clicked in about 2 weeks after 2 weeks of denial, getting my diagnosis, that I woke up saying, I'm going to beat this. Holy cow. And sometimes when you're in the grip of everything, you're like, I know I'm going to beat this, you know. And it's just, I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that whatever I was doing prior didn't work. I was depressed, and I knew that if they said I was going to die, I wasn't going to spend my time depressed. So I really had to work on my mindset. And a couple books helped me, and that was The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and The Cancer Conqueror. And both the Power of Now taught me how to live in the present. And so it was my first dabbling into my mindset. How do I stay present to remember all these great people and things that are around me? Because you had to be prepared to die. I did. I had to be prepared to die in order to live.
That's a good way to put it. Yep.
I had to be okay with dying. I didn't want to, but was I okay? Yep. Because once I let that go, everything changed, because I knew I wasn't going to die, but I had to be okay with dying. And that's not giving in. That was me letting go, just letting go. Like, we have no control. We have no control of cancer. We have no control of anything but our thoughts, our mindset, and the way we speak to ourselves and to others, you know. And for me, that's been a 14-year journey of being nicer to myself and positive self-talk. And through my work with Reiki, and Theta healing, and doing as many little mini like boot camps that I can do on mindset with Tony Robbins. I mean, it really makes a huge difference. And that's what I realized, that it came down for me was, you know, a lot of people got pancreatic cancer, but why was I different? Well, one, I have a message, but two, you know, I really worked on my mindset. I mean, people would tell me, Chris, are you living in reality? And I'm like, well, it's my reality. I can do with it what I want. And I didn't realize the power in that statement at the time, but we do create our own realities.
Well, I was just going to tell you. So this is the funny thing, is that we do create our own realities. We create our life. And the biggest thing about that is that we are also like being able to be in the present moment, is the best kind of healing that we can begin to do for ourselves. Because anytime we're thinking about the past, then
we worry.
So I could just go off and sound, completely sound out there and say there is, it's all happening at the same time kind of thing. And so it's a kind of thing where
in the past. Worry's based in the past, and anxieties means you're living in the future. So if you're dealing with worry or anxiety, you're living in the past and the future. But that's why they call right now present, because it's a gift. It's a present to us to stay focused on the here and now. Like, it was important for Crystal to spend time with her little boy and do this camp for kids. That's staying focused on the present and concentrating on what means the most. And you know, for me it's helping others and learning about myself. And I enjoy learning it. But I'm sorry I interrupted you, Nat. That was just a thought I had.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, so we are constantly, something I want to remind people of, because every time, like I'll share something on my page, on my Facebook page or Instagram or whatever. And something that I noticed that I read that really made a lot of sense, but we don't think about it, is every person that we meet has their own version of who we are. And we have a completely different version of who we are. And nobody knows us. We don't always even know ourselves the way that other people know us. Does that make sense? So basically, the only version that you have to worry about is how you feel about yourself. And I think
Amen.
reaching and looking at that and really taking a good hard look, and when something comes up in your life that makes you feel uncomfortable or is drama or something like that, there's a reason that it's surfacing. It's for you to look at and go, why is this bothering me? Because sometimes it, things run through our DNA, things run through our ancestry, things run even on deeper levels. I will even say past lives, things like that. So, there's a lot of times that we definitely cannot be too hard on ourselves, and our journeys are our journeys, and they happened to us for a reason, and for us. So this life is truly a blessing. And I know, I will tell you a funny experience actually that I had after I went through having the heart attack and everything, and for a few months afterwards. So sometimes I'm going to talk about our higher self. So we have our physical body. Then right outside of our physical body, we have our auric field, our aura that people sometimes can see. But then we also, just above us, have our higher self. And then above that, our soul self. And then the next level would be connecting with God, creator,
your higher power,
whatever. Right. And so anyway, for a long time afterwards, I had realized that part of the not feeling any pain from my heart attack was because my higher self was kind of pulling me out of my body, which happens a lot to people when they go through trauma of some kind or whatever. Your higher self pulls you out of your body. And even when people actually die, their higher self, soul self, can pull them out of the body so it lessens the pain.
I truly believe
what I'm going to say, yeah. And so for a long time, I remember at night, I was going back and walking into the bathroom, and I hadn't turned the light on yet. And when I looked, I was like, I had moved my hand in front of my face, and when I did, it looked like I was putting my hand through cobwebs. And I was like, what is going on? This is really unusual. First, I was freaked out because does that mean there's a spider on me, right?
Right.
But then I learned that basically I was sort of having kind of out of body experiences. So when I would move my hand, there would be like a trail of light behind my hand. So I had to work on grounding myself. And so this is something that can happen to people that, there's a lot of scientific things about our physical, mental, and spiritual bodies that we think is just weird stuff, but it's stuff that really happens. And so seeing this, I had to make sure I was grounded and back in my body, because this would happen at night or first thing in the morning. It does not happen anymore because now I'm grounded. But having that experience changed things, and it made me become more aware of how very connected our higher self is to our physical body, that it would help us and, guide us in all of those different kind of ways that we don't always think about. For sure, that's not something you just think about like, oh, that's going to happen. It was a surprise. But and so there's nothing, there's nothing painful about that. There's nothing anything. It's just, we're energetic beings. And so,
we're made up of
science,
energy.
right. And our vibration, when you have somebody who is not feeling good, their vibration will be lower than someone who's feeling really good and really healthy. So what happens is, with that vibration, that's what keeps our physical body together, is that vibration being a certain level. That's why, like, not to be weird or gross, but when someone does pass, that, their physical body, as they're dying, sort of begins to break down as it normally would in the physical world. And so that's because there's lack of vibration. The soul is not there. It has disconnected and moved on. But anyway,
well, your physical being, your physical vessel, your physical being is no longer part of your beingness. You transfer to whatever place you believe in. Everybody has a different belief. So along with energy work, Nat, with the theta stuff, you also are a Reiki practitioner. Reiki is another form of energy work that involves, energy that's not from us. We're just a conduit of energy to align and clear the chakras out. I'm still waiting to become a Reiki master, but I know it was influential in helping me just face my cancer diagnosis with ease. I know that it helped me a great deal having Reiki done. And from there, I've discovered like acupuncture and all of these other modalities. So I guess when we talk about alternative therapies, I think of them as self-care therapies. They are alternative, but more complementary. I think a complementary therapy is a term I like, because they complement your well-being. And if we're not well on the inside, then with ourselves, we're not going to be our best version of ourselves on the outside and to others. And I know that for a fact. For me, dealing with PTSD and anxiety, I didn't even know. I knew I had depression from battling cancer, but I never knew that PTSD and anxiety happened. I knew something was happening to me, but until I got those diagnoses, however you put it, I realized that, whoa, this has taken over my life. And the theta healing, the Reiki, nature have all been a healing thing for me. So the importance of those, I would tell people to dabble in whatever you can find at this point.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that, and there are a lot of doctors now too that will say, they recommend, getting not only your chemo treatments or whatever kind of treatments you would get from, conventional Western medicine, but also to use these other things, because it is about mindset. So whether it be meditation, whether it be tapping, that's another thing too that you can do, which is like tapping different areas of your body.
Sound healing.
But also
sound healing is another one.
Right. I mean, there are so many integrated energy therapy, Reiki. There's that electro pulse therapy that
Pulse
you get.
electromagnetic field therapy, PEMF therapy. That's done wonders for my digestion and how I feel, and has also helped me in my traumatic brain injury. All of these things have helped balance me out since getting my traumatic brain injury and just learning to get back to myself. A lot of wonkiness in the noggin has led to it getting and feeling better. And I intermingle my OT and cognitive therapy with these complementary therapies still.
Yeah. I think
It's
that
funny, Matt.
is
I
the
was I was reading some articles before we went on today about even in Science Daily and the National Health Institute I mean, this is from Science News. This is from 2019 on how a cancer diagnosis can cause significant emotional burden for patients and their families. But, you know, we always target like what chemotherapies will work. But there was an article published in Trends in Cancer about targeting cancer patients' mindsets and how it could have an impact on their health, functioning, and well being. So, this is starting to become something that people are really looking at. We might not be able to treat the cancer. We might make it like a chronic illness, but if we work on a person's mindset and beingness and how they present themselves and how their beliefs, I think we have a chance at getting more long-term survivors. I don't know about what your thoughts are in all
okay.
illnesses.
So, well, yes, I think so too. But here's what I want to also say is that mindset is great for anybody. So, but what I mean by that is that sometimes when someone's going through a cancer journey, um, it may not be something that they can come back from. You've seen this
Right.
so many times, right?
Absolutely.
But what happens is by changing, even with someone who is not doing great, it can change their mindset so that they can do some healing with their loved ones. They can do healing on themselves. So even with
Absolutely.
alternative therapies, that's something that it
It's your
maybe it
quality
can,
of
and
life.
miracles happen every single day, quality of life. But it can also, it can a miracle can happen, instantaneous healing sometimes, and I've seen that happen. So
I, I, I,
it's
I think that the true message, I guess for me, the true message through my cancer journey, like I never doubted I was going to make it, but everybody else did. But it only matters in your mind. And truthfully, if you can live your life daily the way you want to live it, and
yep,
your mindset, practicing through mindset, practicing gratitude, whatever complementary therapies you do, that's winning. Truthfully, that's winning. You're living your life the way you want. Now, outcomes, well, some outcomes aren't always the same, but it's how you journey through life. We all don't make it out
right,
alive, but it's how we take the journey. And I
exactly,
think that that's an important takeaway is we're all in that mindset. I know I was, get it out of me, get it out of me, get it done. 6 months, I'll be done with chemo. My chemo was 3.5 years. It wasn't a sprint. It was a flipping marathon. And I had
yeah,
nothing else to do but to work on my mindset and what I couldn't control the cancer, but what I could control is mental imagery. I didn't practice gratitude back then every day, but I did verbally, but I didn't write it down. But I worked on my
right,
mindset and I worked on my body, and that's all you can do at the end of the day. And I think if people understand that it's we all don't win at the game of life. We all win in different ways, but
right,
winning means you're living your life with ease and enjoying the moments and not worried about, oh my God, I got to go pick up the kids and you got to do this. It's about finding your inner peace. And I think we all need
right,
that. And when you're battling a chronic illness or a long-term illness, however you want to put it, or life-threatening. I think all we can control is our being, how we think, how we feel, how we live our life, and hopefully in the present.
Yeah. I think that the big thing is that for people just to think, well, where do I get started with changing my mindset? And really, it is about, sometimes it's about having a mantra, something that you say when you get up in the morning. Like, start doing something that becomes, that you can make it a daily thing, even if it's just a few things that you say to yourself, that I am strong, I am confident, I am important, I am enough. Just things
I
like that.
am
Start.
affirmations go a long way.
Yes. And so, and then if you, and a lot of people say, well, I can't meditate. Well, guess what? You don't have to, you don't have pro editing. Most of the time when I meditate, I end up falling asleep. So
That's the best kind of
biggest
meditation.
thing is, yeah, on my website, there is a theta healing meditation, a really, really quick, like 5-minute thing. That's
well,
something
maybe you can
that,
share it with everybody, Nat. Maybe you can share it with everybody.
What, the website or?
Yeah, I think I feel like for the Purple Iris Foundation, which we both are a part of, you know, I think we really need to look at promoting some of these alternative therapies. I know that I dabble in all of them at least once a month, it seems, and between massage and PEMF, I have cranial sacral done for, which is basically a manipulation. And for my head injury, and then I mean massages when I can afford them, and so self-care is a big thing, and I think it's important to put little things out there for mindset, because I know we're all coming out of COVID, and sometimes that's not easy. I know as a cancer patient, when I was going through active treatment, I didn't go a lot of places. So COVID might be over, but a lot of these people that are battling cancer are still at home and only going to open places. And so I think a lot of things like that we can share, like meditations, might be good for people to listen to if they're having problems sleeping or if they're feeling anxiety. I know that I throw it on meditations or YouTube on my car when I need some, or a frequency, just to get my mind calm, or sit in my car and just close my eyes and focus.
Yeah. So one thing I would recommend before you listen to something as you're going to sleep, try to listen to it all the way through. If you're playing something on YouTube or whatever, try to listen to it all the way through before you start listening to it subconsciously as you're going to sleep, to make sure that the intent of what you're listening to is for your highest best good.
Probably a good idea. I listen to the solfeggio frequencies at night. That's what I listen to.
Yes.
Because some things get a little weird after a couple hours. You're right.
Well, so the solfeggio frequencies are the original frequencies that the monks used in creating vibratory intention. And so there's a lot, that's why you're drawn to certain kinds of music, different things, different tones match a vibration. And that vibration does different things for your body. So you just look that up. It's SOLFEGGIO frequencies.
Oh yeah, no,
I actually have them on my.
We should put some links on, and maybe we should start a place on our webpage for integrative or complementary therapies, or I don't know, something that people can just click on our link. What's that? Yes. Well, yes, yeah. I think we need to educate. to educate
Yes,
people and let them
exactly.
choose.
So
But I think that might be a good addition to add. I think instead of having to look all over YouTube, if we could give a few examples of some easy things for people. Meditation took me 14 years to be able to do, and I'm excited to say that when I meditate at night, I fall asleep, but during the day, it just calms me. So, and that's as simple as closing your eyes and thinking happy thoughts, and going to a happy place. And for me, mine's a beach with these gentle waves, and the sun's just going down, and you've got this long pier, and it's just the white sand, and that's very relaxing to me.
yes, visualize your happy place, because it's also good for your blood pressure, your heart rate, all of that stuff.
It
So
is.
even
I
even my
agree.
husband, he before he goes into the doctor's office, he goes in there and he goes to his happy place, and his blood pressure is great. He always does great with it. So I wanted to also mention too that people. So Chris has dealt with PTSD and anxiety, and so I will tell you that um, I also I was one of the people. I don't know how you would really describe it, but I was definitely an overthinker. I was definitely like a control freak for a good part of my life up until probably I was about 30, 35, something like that. So I will tell you, it is like a breath of fresh air when it all clicks in, when you've been working on yourself in little ways, just learning as you go. It makes a whole different world for you once you start kind of letting go of stuff. Like, I mean, I will tell you, I figured that if I wasn't being in control of something, that it wasn't going to work out the way I wanted. So I had a complete lack of faith. Complete.
Faith.
Um,
People, it's funny
so
when
we
people say
all
they
have
have
stuff we
faith.
work on. Right. And so now I do. And so it's a process for everybody, but you can't be hard on yourself. You just got to take it a day at a time, a situation at a time, and know that you always have time to change your mind. You always have time to kind of look at how your day's going and say, I don't want my day to go this way. You want to change it. And so I will tell
It's
you,
not
the more that
acknowledging.
you
Yeah.
concentrate on the positive stuff or what you want to bring to you, concentrate on what you want your life to be, what you want it to bring to you. The more you concentrate on that, the more that you will attract that to your energy. But if you're always thinking about negative stuff or how horrible something is going to be, you're also going to attract that because you're thinking about it all the time. So,
We are what
helping
we think.
change the mindset has a lot to do with how you're thinking about yourself, how you're thinking about others. Um, so I know,
Absolutely. How you talk about yourself and how you think are huge
yeah,
things, because if people call it the universe, but there's always somebody listening. And so if you're calling yourself like, oh, that was a stupid decision, no, that's not how you want to talk. Like, I did the
cancel
best I could.
that.
Yeah, you got to cancel, clear, delete that. But you also have to be easy on yourself and then like, oh, I'll do that. I'll do this better next time. Or I did great on this, but I learned from it. So there's always
Right.
different ways that you can learn to talk about yourself and others. And, I really appreciate having you on today, Nat. We've talked for almost an hour. So,
I know.
so
Thank you for having me.
well, I'd love to have you on again and talk about and break down each modality with you. I mean, today we talked about a lot about mindset, about how that impacts you about your heart attack, which I'm grateful that you're still here and able to share your story, because you're a miracle. And thank you for talking about theta and energy work and mindset. And I hope you'll come on with Crystal and I sometime so we both can chat with you.
I would love.
That would be great.
I would love to. Thank you,
that
guys.
would be great. That would be great. As always, folks, we have to give Generations Boutique and Studio a shout out. They do a great job of letting us be seen there. Today, we're just out of our homes so they can have their kids camp. And we're grateful
Kids
for all
camp.
they do.
Yep.
Kids camp. So we're grateful for all they do. We're grateful for the people that tune in either now or later. Thank you. Remember to go to YouTube, to the Maine Cancer Crusader Chicks, and please like and follow our YouTube page so we can get up there to have more opportunities to spread our message. And again, if you'd like to be a guest, or if you have any ideas for a show, please send them to us. We'd love to take those up, or just send us in pictures of everybody having a great summer. I'd love to be able to share those. Share what your adventures are. If anybody's out there or their loved ones battling cancer, show us what you're doing this summer. This is the first year post-COVID. Show us what you're doing. We'd love to see it. But again, Nat, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. Thanks for still being here.
Thank you for being here. I love and appreciate you too. Thanks for having me on.
We'll have you on later. And believe it or not, she is the brains behind the scenes of our podcast each month. So thank you for that as well, Nat.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time on Maine Cancer Crusader Chicks. Have a great week and take care of you.